The push for constitutional reform is being led by Justice Minister Serbuhi Galyan, who has been vocal about the need to update Armenia's constitution. According to Galyan, the changes are purely internal and have no connection to Azerbaijan or any other external actor. The focus, she says, is on drafting a new constitutional text that reflects the needs of a modern, independent Armenia. The government has committed to finalizing the new constitution by the 2026 elections, though the referendum to approve it is likely to take place after the elections. One of the key aspects of the current constitution that will remain unchanged is the preamble, which references Armenia's Declaration of Independence. Articles 1, 2, 3, and 203, which are designated as unamendable, will also be retained in the new constitution. Galyan has pointed to a 2021 Constitutional Court decision that reaffirmed the unamendable status of these provisions, arguing that they are foundational to Armenia's identity and governance. Daniel Ionisyan, a member of the Constitutional Reform Commission, has echoed the government's stance, emphasizing that the commission is focused solely on issues raised by Armenian citizens. He has also dismissed claims that the Declaration of Independence is up for discussion, stating that it remains a cornerstone of Armenia's constitutional framework. The government has framed these efforts as a way to reduce dependence on Russia and secure long-term stability. Despite the government's assurances, the proposed reforms have faced significant pushback from opposition forces, who argue that the changes are being driven by external pressures rather than domestic needs. Key opposition figures have been vocal in their criticism, accusing the government of yielding to demands from Azerbaijan and Turkey. Azerbaijan has long viewed certain clauses in Armenia's constitution as a barrier to normalizing relations between the two countries. Baku has argued that Armenia's current constitutional framework perpetuates a narrative of territorial claims, which undermines efforts to build trust and normalize relations. This perspective has added a layer of complexity to Armenia's constitutional reform process, as the government must balance domestic political considerations with the demands of its neighbor. Seyran Ohanyan, head of the Armenia faction, has been particularly critical, stating that the constitutional changes are being carried out under pressure from Azerbaijan and the Turkey-Azerbaijan tandem. He argues that there is no need for such changes and that they risk undermining Armenia's sovereignty. Norea Narikyan, leader of the Fair Armenia political party, has gone a step further, stating that no changes should be made to the constitution while Nikol Pashinyan remains prime minister. Narikyan believes that any amendments under Pashinyan's leadership will be seen as a victory for Azerbaijan, further eroding Armenia's position in the region. The opposition has also raised concerns about the government's ability to secure public support for the reforms. Tigran Abrahamian, a member of parliament from the I Have Honor party, has noted that at least 650,000 citizens must approve the changes for them to be adopted, a threshold he believes the government is unlikely to meet. Abrahamian has also criticized the timing of the reforms, arguing that the government lacks the legitimacy to push through such significant changes. Armen Tatoyan, Armenia's former ombudsman, has been particularly critical of the government's approach, accusing Pashinyan of using the reforms as a tool to extend his political power. In a Facebook post, Tatoyan wrote that the idea of amending the constitution is being pushed by a leader who has trampled on the constitution for 7 years solely to extend his political power for one more day. Armenia's constitutional reform process represents a pivotal moment in the country's political development. As the debate continues, the success of the reforms will depend on the government's ability to address both internal and international concerns and build a broad consensus around the new constitution.